As my colleague Derek Grieve, who heads up Scotland's rollout, told Her Majesty the Queen, he'd like to bottle the community spirit that we've seen. And I think we all feel that, and we can see it in the vaccination programme. And I'm very pleased to be able to tell you that today's data from the Office for National Statistics show 94% of adults saying they've either received the jab or they intend to do so. That is staggering. It's really, really good news that there is so much enthusiasm for this jab, and it's testament to colleagues who've worked so hard to build the confidence in the jab and make it as accessible as possible to people, which is what we're constantly striving to do. I'd like to give a shout out to Fazana Hussain, who is a GP in East London, who's been personally calling each of her priority patients, giving information about the vaccine and urging them to come forward and get jabbed. I also want to thank the whole team in Coventry and Warwickshire, who have delivered the highest uptake in the whole country, giving first doses to over 95% of the over 65s in their area. Thank you. It's an absolutely spectacular effort. This work is so important, and it's important because the fight back against this disease rests with every single one of us. And the more people who are protected, the safer we'll all be. So if you get the call, please come forward to protect yourself and to protect those around you. Now, throughout our vaccination programme, we've focused on protecting those at greatest clinical need, and this is the final thing I want to turn to. We offered a vaccine, for instance, to everybody in the top 4 priority groups by the 15th of February, and our current target is to get a first dose offered to everybody in the top 9 priority groups by the 15th of April. That's everybody who's over 50 or part of an at-risk group. Earlier this month, I asked the clinicians at the JCVI to set out what is the best order to offer vaccinations for the under 50s. I asked them to make this assessment based on how we can save the most lives and prevent the most hospitalisations. Earlier today, they published their interim recommendations. Next slide, please. The JCVI's clinical advice is that in order to save most lives, once we've offered the vaccine to priority groups 1 to 9, we should take an age-based approach and invite people to come forward in 3 further stages. First, people aged between 40 and 49 years old. They will be group 10. Then those 30 to 39, and then those who are 18 to 29, who will become group 12. This is the fastest and simplest way to roll out the jab. Our moral duty is to put saving lives first, and that's what we've done. So I can confirm that we will follow this clinical advice. We will get jabs into arms as quickly as we can, in the clinically recommended order. And once we've met the target by the 15th of April, we'll move on to these priority groups 10, 11 and 12. I'm sure that we all agree that the best approach is the one that saves the most lives. So that's what we're going to do together. And while we make this great progress on vaccines, with one of the fastest rollouts in the world, we've all, though, still got to hold our nerve and do our bit. It's on all of us still to stay at home, to protect the NHS and save lives. Thank you very much. I now want to hand over to Professor Van Tam to go through those.